I'm getting so many questions like this one from a listener named Sarah.
Hey Mel, it's Sarah. Can you talk about starting over at 40 and being terrified doing it? I turned 40 last year and my life is not okay. I've been in a toxic marriage for 11 years with a man who also has a lot of health problems. Hashtag guilt. I was laid off from a job I loved and I have gained a crazy amount of weight. That's just the icing on the cake. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know if I have ever been truly happy. I would love to hear your advice on this topic. I want the second act of my life to be amazing. Help me, Mel. Thank you.
All right, Sarah. First of all, thank you to Sarah for doing the work for all of us because I swear to God, I am getting this question a bazillion times. And I want to say one thing out of the gate. Sarah said that she is terrified of starting over. First of all, everybody, you're never starting over. You're always starting from experience. This is so important for you to understand. Just because you got laid off, just because you've ended a relationship, you're not starting from scratch. You have all the experiences, good and bad, in your life that you can now use to reinvent and reimagine what the next chapter of your life looks like next. And I'm seeing the same question that Sarah's asking. I don't even know where to start, Mel. I know that I got to change things up. I know I got this flame inside me. I want to be happy. I deserve to be happy. I'm not even sure I even know what that means. I am seeing this question in so many forms, whether it's those of you in your 20s that are writing and you've graduated from college and you have no idea how to begin creating the next chapter of your life, or you're writing in at the age of 33. And like Sarah, you've been laid off from your job. In fact, it seems like everywhere I go, I don't know if this is happening to you, whether it's being on the set of a television show or giving a keynote presentation, at some point, everybody's kind of leaning over going, yeah, we just went through layoffs. So you're not alone. Or maybe you're on the other side of this. Because so many people got laid off, you actually have been promoted. But now you're freaking out because you feel like you're an imposter in this role and you're not capable of handling it. Or perhaps you're 55, seeing a lot of these kinds of questions. Mel, I am now an empty nester. I want this next chapter of my life to be incredible. And I'm starting to look at my spouse now that the kids are gone. And I'm like, I don't know about this. Or maybe you just met the love of your life and it's unbelievable. But you are worried, terrified, in fact, that you're going to screw it up. So I want to talk about Sarah's question globally, because she's not the only one who's feeling kind of scared about this notion of what this next chapter might be. She used the word terrified. You don't have to be terrified. This is one of the greatest opportunities of your life. So if you want to change, you either want to step into your power when good things are happening, or you want to just look out on the road ahead and create an exciting new possibility for yourself. You are listening to the exact thing that you need to hear, because that brings me to the overall topic today, and that is reinvention. Now, 90% of the questions that I'm getting right now are about the topic of reinvention. How do I reinvent myself? How do I reinvent my life? You may not be using that word. I mean, Sarah didn't, but that is exactly what you and I are going to talk about today. Because I want you to imagine a brand new possibility for your life. And if you, like Sarah, can say, I want to be happy, I want the next chapter of my life to be amazing. If you can just even start there, all you have to do is start to think about what kind of a map do you need in order to chart a course to make that possibility that you see for your life a reality. And I love this topic of reinvention. I love it, love it, love it, because I have this metaphor that I've been using for years when it comes to understanding reinvention. And what is the metaphor? The metaphor that I use is a road trip. That's right. Life is one big road trip. And we're going to use this metaphor of a road trip to demystify the entire concept and process of reinventing yourself or reinventing your life. And for those of you that have listened to my number one ranked audio series on Audible called Reinvent Your Life, you have heard me talk about this metaphor. And this is such a powerful concept because the fact is, life is a journey. It's one big road trip. And for too many of us, that road trip is boring and monotonous. And I want to shake things up. I want your life to be the most exciting, exhilarating, amazing road trip that you could possibly imagine. And we're all on this big road trip. We all began at the exact same mile marker, 0. Every single year of your life is another mile marker on this twisting, amazing journey called life. For me, I'm at mile marker 54. That is how far down the road I am. And so I want you to stop and just think, okay, well, what mile marker am I at right now? And it's a useful exercise to think about it that way, because when I say to you, hey, I'm at mile marker 54, that tells me that there's a lot of road that I've covered behind me. But guess what? There is a huge open road ahead of me. And when you take responsibility for charting that course of where that open road is going to lead you, you take control of your life. That's what reinvention is all about. It's about creating a map, picking a destination, and charting your course on this road called life. And here's what's exciting about that. You get to choose. You get to choose how fast you're going to drive, whether you're going to take the highway, whether you're going to twist and turn, where you want to go next. And so Sarah's question was, Mel, where do I start? We're going to start by pulling over. And the reason why we're going to start by just mentally pulling over together for a second is because Sarah is literally describing her life as if she is driving through a hellish, heavy rainstorm with hail dropping down. I mean, between the toxic husband and the weight she's put on and getting laid off from her dream job, holy smokes, it's like raining sideways in your life right now, Sarah. But that's okay. That's okay. Because we know that the rain doesn't last forever. We know that on the road ahead, there are going to be sunny skies and there's going to be big fluffy clouds and all kinds of amazing views. And you can make it through this rainstorm. And so here's what we're going to do, though. You can't possibly assess where you're going until you pull over for a second and you reflect on where you're at right now. And more importantly, where do you want to go next? I mean, think about the last time you got lost. When you get lost, does driving around help you find yourself? No. You got to pull over. You got to figure out where you are. You got to consult the mile marker. You got to look for landmarks. And then you got to figure out, okay, where am I going next? And so pulling over is a mental strategy. Visualize yourself right now, just pulling off the road of life onto the side for a second. Because by pulling over for just a second, you're acknowledging what Sarah's saying. You're going to hit the pause button on your life as it is right now, and we're going to take a second to collect ourselves, and then we're going to figure out the destination and where we want to go next. And that brings me to the next step of reinventing your life. And I'm going to go to a question from a listener who has pulled over. She is reflecting on where she's at right now. Sounds like she's got a flat tire, not real happy. So let's hear this question.
Hi, Mel. It's Jen. I'm struggling going through a breakup, and it's hard because I thought I found the person that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. I was very happy, and I guess I thought I found my person, but this breakup is just affecting me with work, and it's just a struggle. It's just a daily struggle to get up and a daily struggle to get dressed. I would just love some advice.
Thank you for being so honest about what you're dealing with. And what you're dealing with right now is a detour on the road trip called life. That is what this is. And all detours in life, whether it is a breakup or it's the death of somebody that you love or losing a job or just anything that happens that can happen in life, just anything that happens that takes you off the route that you thought you were going to go down. And in those moments, it is important to pull over. It is important to feel sad and to let those emotions rise up. But you can't stay in that place. You can't allow it. If you get a flat tire, if you get into an accident, what do? You pull over, you fix the car, and you move forward. And that's what you have to do now. You have spent enough time being sad. You have spent enough time lamenting what happened. You have spent enough time looking in the rearview mirror at this relationship. If you're somebody that is looking backwards, you're looking at the past, you're looking at the road behind you, and you're spending way too much of your time and your energy wishing things were different, feeling sad about the miles that you've already been down and that you wish you had done something different. You wish you would have ended up. You wish that here at 24 you would have majored in a different thing because whatever it is that you're doing that involves the rearview mirror, stop. Because you're not going that way. Think about the road trip analogy. Does a car on a road trip drive forward down the road? Or do you go on a road trip by driving backwards? Are you getting my point? There's a reason why the windshield in a car is so much bigger than the rearview mirror. You're not going backwards. And you can't drive forward if you're always staring in the rearview mirror. And so you did the right thing by feeling sad. You did the right thing by pulling over. But now it's time for you to look out the windshield and look at the road ahead. And here's what I want you to do. As you're pulled over on this mile marker with me, again, I'm at 54. Just think to yourself, what mile marker are you at? There's a lot of us that assess where we're at and we start to judge ourselves. Like, oh, I should have done this by now. I wish I had it all figured out. I should have been with the love of my life. I thought this was going to work out. Stop and look at the open road. Allow yourself to entertain this incredible idea that the happiest, most fulfilled version of you is on the road ahead. Imagine if this detour that you've been forced to take is the best thing that ever happened to you. Why? It's about alignment. Your life is always trying to take you on the unique path that is aligned with you and what's meant for you. And when you allow yourself to believe that this is happening for a reason, that this heartache, that this breakup, that this person that was in my life, and now life is handing me this detour, that this was meant to be because it is preparing me for something better that's coming. You have to start to cultivate that. Because if you don't have that kind of attitude as you are charting the next course, the next chapter, the next leg of your journey, you're going to be gripping that wheel. You're going to be looking in the rearview mirror, and you are going to go nowhere fast. I know it doesn't feel good to not be able to get out of bed. It doesn't feel good to be sad. And the reason why you're feeling those things is because you believe that what's meant for you is behind you. It's not true. You got to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, force yourself out of that bed. You have to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, push yourself out that door, get yourself dressed, and start walking forward. That's what you have to do. Imagine if this detour that just happened, somebody that you're in love with broke up with you. That sucks. There's no way around it. It totally sucks. Just like getting a flat tire sucks. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Well, I'll tell you what I don't want you to do, because this is why you can't get out of bed. You are telling yourself that this happened because there's something wrong with you. You're telling yourself that this happened because you're not worthy, because you're not good enough. And that is complete bullshit. You want to know why this happened? Let's go back to our road trip. This happened because every single one of us has a completely unique and deeply personal journey that we take on this thing called life. And I choose to believe that whatever detour hits you, it is aligned with what's meant for you. I also deeply believe that the best years of my life are on the road ahead. If you can embrace those two truths, that every detour in life that does not go according to plan, it's not what you wanted. And there have been so many detours in my life that have been painful, but I can see now how they were aligned with pushing me in the direction I needed to go, giving me the lessons that were aligned with my purpose or the things that I needed to learn in order to make the years ahead even better, even happier, even more purposeful. You have to tell yourself that, because what's the alternative? The alternative is you feeling like a victim. You feeling as though, you're never good enough. Nothing's ever going to work out. Bullshit. This detour is not something you wanted. This detour is going to open you up to something that you needed. I swear to God, when you start to think like that, when you grab the wheel of your life, when you take responsibility, not for the detour, but for how you're going to navigate what happens next, that's when you tap into your power, and you can do that. This isn't about some guy breaking your heart. This is about you discovering how to love yourself. So here's what I want you to do. Clearly, you believe that finding your person is something that you need to do. So on a piece of paper, write down all the things that this person does for you. How do they make you feel? What are some of the things that they do for you? The kind of person that you're going to fall madly, deeply in love with. Now, all those things that you write down, do them for yourself. That is what this detour is trying to teach you. That the one person that you need to truly love and truly be in a relationship with, your person, so to speak. You already found that person, and it's you. And so I think that this detour is giving you the detour you needed, the breakdown you needed, so that you could strengthen your relationship with yourself. That's why this happened. And you can think the years ahead, Mel Robbins, the years ahead, these are going to be the best, most loving, happiest years of my life. You, my friend, reinvent everything. Now, 90% of the questions that I'm getting right now are about the topic of reinvention. How do I reinvent myself? How do I reinvent my life? I want you to imagine a brand new possibility for your life. There is a flame inside you, and it is getting bigger.